Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the call, All Millionaires. My name is Amma Nansui. I go by Amma the CPA because I'm a registered, licensed, certified public accountant from Chicago, Illinois, and it is always a pleasure to be the host of the call. Now, I have the honor and the privilege of introducing our speaker for this evening. This gentleman is the founder of the Affirmation Nation that is hosted 7 days a week, just so we all can win and help us develop our mindsets. He's also the founder of the Kaizen Academy, which helps us focus on incremental steps that can help us monumentally improve our businesses. Even as a preteen, this gentleman was millionaire-minded. He has literally been building businesses since the young age of 11 years old. He used the same set of leadership skills that he teaches us to bring himself from homelessness to running and consulting for million-dollar organizations such as Red Bull and Scion, just to name a few. To top off his immaculate transformation, he is also currently part owner of his very own network marketing company, as well as the vice president of sales and acquisitions. So please, ladies and gentlemen, millionaires on the line, grab a notepad and a pen. Get ready to take some really, really good notes. Now I'm going to step out of the way and introduce my friend, my mentor, and my coach, Mr. Haziq Ali. Are you on the line, sir?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm really sorry for interrupting that beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for that, Miss Nancy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. So welcome, millionaires. I hope everybody's really excited. I hope you have your pen and your pad ready to go, because this evening could be life-changing for more than a few of us. The gentleman that we're blessed and fortunate to have gracing us really needs no introduction. Many of you know my story about how pretty much, not even pretty much, like literally, it sounds like one of them cute things that people say when they meet their hero or when they meet their mentors, but this man literally saved my life and at least one other person, right? It was crazy. And, it was a book that started my whole journey through personal development. And the book, for me, wasn't Think and Grow Rich like a lot of other people. The book wasn't, the laws of success like a lot of other people. I got to be honest with you, the book wasn't even like the Bible or the Quran. The book for me was a book called It Ain't Over Until You Win. It ain't, just listen to the title of that. It ain't over until you win. Well, right when I was at my lowest point, this book really spoke some things into my soul that made me realize exactly that. It started me off on a journey that has now, humbly speaking, changed even other lives other than mine. It's so interesting how that works. And my life is so surreal now that this man has moved from the realm of my imagination to sitting right across from me at dinner or lunch, or sitting right across from me as we're just chilling out in the living room or whatever it is. Like, about to, help him move, about to set down roots and whatnot. It's just been an amazing experience, and I hope you guys are ready for it. We'll be bringing Mr. Brown off the line in just a few, but I want to make sure everybody marks their calendars for May 18th and 19th. May 18th and 19th. That's where we're having what's called Advanced Sales Mastery. Advanced Sales Mastery, that's going on May 18th and 19th right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And there may be a special guest, hint, hint, you never know. For May 18th and 19th, I get you guys all to myself. I get to teach you for 2 days straight about some of the techniques that have made what some would call my meteoric rise from being homeless to not only generating millions of dollars through different businesses that we own, but also going from homeless to owning my place with no mortgage. Like all I have to pay is my HOA fee. I always like to bring that up because that just sounds like such a cool transition, right? So if you guys just hold tight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the guest of honor on the line, and what we're going to do is many of you submitted questions. And so what I'll be doing is calling on you. I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to say where you're from. And then you're going to unmute yourself using *6. And then you're going to ask your question, and you're going to make us look smart. You're not going to embarrass us in front of Mr. Brown with some inane, mundane nothing. But we prevented that. And let me just say, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, these are some incredible questions you guys have sent in, many of you. And so I'm really proud of that. All right, so everybody grab your pen and your pad. I'll be back in like 60 seconds, something like that. Let me get our guest of honor. Hold on. Okay. And I am back, and we are live. So without further ado, what I would like to do is introduce to some and present to others a man who really needs no introduction, the man who is responsible for me, and whatever you get from me, it is coming straight from this man in many ways, because he is the root that is giving you the fruit. This is like my spiritual dad. This is the guy who represented for me the epitome of my potential. I can tell you stories about me being on the way home from events, listening to his speeches and just breaking into tears in front of the whole airplane, because there are at least 3 different watershed moments in my life that I attribute directly to the gentleman that I'm about to introduce. And I'm only sharing that with you guys so that you understand the magnitude of this moment. I often try and teach that questions are what you judge a man by. I think it's Voltaire who said, the answers tell you if a man is clever, but the questions tell you if a man is wise. And I'm really proud of you for some of the wisdom that's in some of these questions. I scarcely know who to begin with, but before we do, without further ado, I'd like you to give it up. Even though you're on mute and we can't hear you, make some noise out there for the legendary Les Brown. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. I want to thank you so very much, my spiritual son. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. It's always a treat when great people meet.
I love it. So Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Brown. I hope you're ready because, man, when I told them that they were going to get a Q&A with you, and then I guess we sort of announced it this weekend on that Facebook Live, but they have been chomping at the bit ever since then, Mr. Brown. Like, oh, am I going to get a chance to ask them? Am I going to get – and I was like, well, listen, we got to make sure the questions are worthy, first of all, you know. So.
All right, well, let's bring it on. I'm ready for it.
Okay, good stuff. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with Shanae from out. You know what? No. We'll save Shanae. What we'll do is we'll start off with somebody from your old stomping grounds, Miss Africa Wallace. Are you on the line, Miss Wallace? *6 will unmute your line. *6 will unmute your line. I love this question, Mr. Brown, because she was talking about partnerships. Okay. Africa, please let them know where you're from, and then what is your question for the legend?
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. I love you. So I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am a realtor. And so my question is how do you get through a partnership when one of the partners are being unreasonable and attacking your profession?
Repeat the question again, please.
How do you get through a partnership when one of the partners are being unreasonable and attacking your profession?
I think it's very important that, first of all, I want to thank you very much for your question. And are you in Cincinnati?
Yes, sir. Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes, I served in the Ohio legislature with Senator Bowen from Cincinnati and Rankin from Cincinnati when I was a state legislator years ago. The most important thing to do, if that relationship is really important to you, is get someone as a mediator to help to facilitate how you can begin to come together or decide, because of the relationship going south, that it can no longer work, and that you begin to create an amicable way that you can go in your two different directions. But there comes a point when you need someone else, a non-judgmental partner who will come in as a facilitator to help you negotiate what your differences are and how to begin to either repair it or decide, no, this is not going to work. It's time for a divorce. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. I didn't even think of that. I have been getting some, feedback from my broker, but it's like we have so much going on. And it's like, and how do we come, to that? But I thank you for that. And I would definitely be seeking out a nonpartisan to bring us together. So thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Man, and I love it. What a succinct piece of wisdom. I never would have given that advice right there. That is amazing right there, but I would definitely follow it. Okay, coming right after that, and I feel like I threw you in there a little bit abruptly, Africa, so thank you for being the guinea pig. And then from now on, I'm going to give everybody else a little bit more of a transition so that they can flow into
Rather
it.
than a guinea pig, what about a guinea beauty?
Thank you for
That's right. Thank you, because I am the motherland.
All right.
Thank you for being our guinea beauty, Africa.
Yeah.
And forever you have coined a nickname. For forevermore, everybody, Africa Wallace is our guinea beauty. I love it. Okay. Earl Fambro from out of Charlotte, North Carolina is up next. I love this question. While Earl is getting himself unmuted with star 6, he was talking about a question, Mr. Brown, that really talks about growth and how every new level, we often hear people say it brings new devils. Earl Fambro, are you there? Is Earl Fambro in the house?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. You are on with Mr. Les Brown.
Hello, Mr. Brown. How you doing?
Brother Pearl, I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. So I'm actually pulling my question up. I had it written down. Give me 1 second. I'm doing a little bit too much. I'm actually driving right now, so I apologize.
Oh, man. Be careful now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need you here.
I know. I'm in my neighborhood. So I'm only driving about 12 miles an hour. I'm headed home. But here we go. I got it. I'm ready. You ready?
Yes.
Sir.
All right. My question is this. When belief begins to build and your vision does begin to get clearer, but, your advancements begin to happen to you faster and your responsibility, all your responsibilities begin to get larger and, you get new ones added on all at the same time. What are some keys to keeping the main thing the main thing?
The key is, number one, is find someone who can help you with the things that you're not good at, and someone that can begin to step in those areas and cover that for you so that you don't begin to become distracted from keeping the main thing the main thing. Your primary goal and dream, what's most important to you, and that which is number one, you want to make sure that nothing, no other activities take away from that. You can only reach one destination at a time. So you need some help. I believe ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. So you need someone that you trust, someone that you have confidence in, and someone who has demonstrated a level of competence that they can handle those things that you just cannot handle right now to the degree that you'd like to because you got a full plate. Is that helpful?
Very helpful. Very helpful. That's something that I've heard you say many times, Father, not being weak when you request help. And it goes back to what you told me about increasing my relationship capital, and just finding more strong partnerships, strong relationships, strong people with qualified people, as you say. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Earl. Everybody else, please make sure you're in a good area so that we can make sure that we can hear you clearly. For those that couldn't hear Earl's question, and I'll just repeat it for the replay, he was saying as the vision becomes clearer, your purpose becomes more well-defined, your resources start to become more abundant. How do you keep the main thing the main thing? Because right along with the resources come the distractions. And so that's what Mr. Brown was answering, and he answered it so well. I hope everybody caught that, took notes. Okay, next we have Miss Moon. Miss Moon, let them know where you're from. And I loved this question because so many times we are called to serve even before it shows up in our own lives. I've even heard Mr. Brown kind of speak on being in situations where he's renting an office and sleeping in the office, even while being a motivational speaker. And so, Ms. Moon, I thought that the power of your question was just poignant. Are you there, Ms. Moon? Glenice Turner on the line. Are you there, man? Okay, she may be struggling to unmute her line. It is *6 to unmute your line. Okay, well, we'll come back to her. Can someone reach out to her and let her know that we called her? So if we don't get to it, at least she knows we tried. Hopefully she'll come back and shoot me a text message and let me know she's here. But okay, do we have Mr. Kevin Yeshua on the line? Are you here, Kevin? Okay. Miss Alicia Goins, are you on the line? Are you on the line, Alicia?
If you can send their questions.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so please introduce yourself, say where you're from, and then we're ready for you.
All right, I am Alicia Friday Goins. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and it is an honor to be on the line tonight. So thank you very much. And my question was, what is the best tip or secret that you can give us that when we're actually struggling or when we're getting to a point where we're burnt out or we're stuck, what is the best tip that you can give us to get out of that situation?
Well, you haven't identified what the situation is that you want to get out of. Are you talking about a state of mind or a situation or a dilemma that you might be in as it relates to your business?
Yes, it's more state of mind than anything. Just kind of how when we're going out for our goals and things and we just kind of get discouraged and we just get in this situation where we're stuck mentally. How do we get out of that?
Well, one of the things I authorize Zeke to do is, and I don't know whether or not he's done it, is to send out a series of motivational messages that we have put together that's designed to do that. All of us have those moments, what I call in the Garden of Gethsemane. And we need to have some thinking to interrupt our minds so that we can begin to connect with ourselves. When we read the book of life, it says that the kingdom of God is within you. And when they asked Jesus when the kingdom of God shall come, he said, it's neither no there or lo here. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. And the kingdom is voice activated. When you listen to motivational messages on a regular basis, it will begin to activate the potential, the mindset, the skill set, the spirit, and the soul to rise above whatever you're dealing with and allow you to begin to soar to new heights. So it's very important that we get still. That's why we have to give us instructions. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. Well, in this particular case, you want to hear and listen until you know. Ye shall know the truth, and the knowing of that truth of who you are. You're made in the likeness and image of God, and have been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, will set you free from being depressed or burnt out, and allow you to begin to release what Elizabeth Browning called the imprisoned strength of power in you to conquer anything that life throws at you. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so I wanted to ask a question from one of our people that wasn't able to make it on the line. But Mr. Brown, what would you say about someone who's looking to be able to motivate others to a millionaire mindset while they're still currently working on their own mindset? Have you ever had any experiences like that?
Absolutely. I was going around talking to people about they can live their dreams, and I was sleeping on friends' couches. And even when I got an office, I was bathing in the sink down the hall and sleeping on the floor of my office in Detroit, Michigan, in the Penobscot building on the 21st floor. Just 7 wow. I remember. Yes. Wow. That you're not experiencing success while you're talking to people about success. We're taught from the book of life to call forth those things that be not as though they were. In the good times, you put it in your heart. In the tough times, you put it in your pocket. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, don't judge what you're going through and think that's your destiny. No, that has come to pass. You are a messenger, and you've got a message, and no test, no testimony. So you're going to speak your way out. You're going to work your way out, and you're going to continue to be able to move and influence people and carve out a place for yourself in life that you are destined to be there. What's most important, that you hold the vision and operate out of the thinking of the man who wrote the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino. Persist until you succeed. All achievement happens twice, first in the mind and then in the without. Next question, please.
I love it. Good grief. I hope you guys are taking good notes. Okay, next we have from Denver, Colorado, Miss Nicole Carrington. Star 6 will unmute your line. She had a question, Mr. Brown, about to handle the wild world of pursuing your destiny, even while relationships around you begin to wither or pass their season. Are you there, Nicole?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Hi, Mr. Brown. How are you doing?
I'm blessed to hear your voice, Nicole.
I'm blessed to hear yours as well.
What is your question you'd like to ask? Yes.
What advice or tips would you give someone who is ending a marriage while following their dreams and raising their children at the same time to make sure they don't lose focus?
Oh, please. Good God. Yes. Yes. First of all, quite a question. My heart goes out to you. It's a challenging experience. And understand and be with the feeling that we all know that some people come into your life for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. You know, that might sound trivial, but it's real. Many times relationships are a practice. It's a practice for the one that is really coming up. My goal has been in ending a relationship, Father, give this to me if it's for my highest good. If not, give me its equivalent or something better. So understand and know that something better is waiting on you. And you want to not take your eyes off your dream, because it is your dream, that marriage, that's going to take you into the future. It's your dream as you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. that will allow you to achieve a level of independence. It's a difference between wanting a relationship to work and needing it to work. No, you want it to work. You don't need it. All you need is God. And so if you work, you want to maintain that level of commitment to your dreams and to yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and keep moving forward and do everything that you possibly can with the cooperation with the other person to have an amicable separation of yourselves going in two different directions. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm a little choked up.
You're quite welcome. Okay, all is well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the power to you. Yes, ma'am.
Good, good, good. Okay, and we're working right now for everybody that's texting in, like, who is that that's on the line? It's somebody who's going to have real issues being successful because they can't follow simple details.
All you have to do is put everybody on mute, and so the person that you're calling on, they'll push *6, but push everybody else on mute, and they will be tuned out.
Yes, but this person called in on our line, so my right-hand woman is calling the actual conference line so we can get their phone numbers, and we're going to talk to them when this call is over and just get a feel for what they're going through. But hopefully she's disconnected them already. But okay, next we're going to go to Elise Davis in Atlanta, Georgia. Elise Davis in Atlanta, Georgia. Are you there, Elise? I thought this was an incredible question, Mr. Brown, because I now have seen with my own eyes. I thought I was a reader. Me and Mr. Brown had a moment because a couple of days ago we discovered that we both are these people who bring luggage, and we need a whole piece of luggage just for the books we want to bring. Mr. Brown is a reader. If you guys hear nothing else from me, if you pull nothing else from my experiences being around such a legendary man, let me tell you something. He's always reading multiple books at once. Elise Davis, are you there?
I am here. How are you guys? I'm so excited to be here. I'm Elise Davis from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm very excited again. Mr. Brown, God bless you, and I love you. What are your top 3 books for transforming and training your mind specifically for more positive, productive, and critical thinking?
Elise, thank you very much for your question. I live in Alpharetta. I just moved here in the last 4 months, and the number 1 book I encourage you to read is by my mentor. It's Mike Williams, and it's called The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff by Mike Williams. The other book I highly recommend that you read, and you can order it off Amazon, Live Your Dreams by me. I'm sure you're going to find that very motivational, considering the fact that I'm going to be in your ear on a regular basis.
Yes, sir.
So to write for the eye and to speak for the ear are 2 different dynamics. So you will get me in 2 different ways, all right? And
yes,
the third book that I love very much that I think that will be helpful for you that I love is by Willie Jolly, one of the people that I mentored, called A Setback as a Setup for a Comeback. That we all have comeback power, and many times life can knock you silly, and you forget your name and where you are. And so that book will help you to begin to pick yourself up off the canvas of life and get back into the fight. Okay?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. It's such a blessing to hear your voice, and then you're actually talking to me. I'm fangirling over here. You have to not mind me.
Thank you so much. You got me blushing, Elise, but nobody can see it but me.
Good stuff, good stuff. Thank you for that, Elise. Okay, so moving on, is Joseph David on the line. Joseph David, also out of Atlanta, Georgia. I thought this was a powerful question that Joseph submitted about legacy. I thought that this was an amazing bearing of the soul in terms of his own priorities and what it is he's thinking about. For those that caught, people are asking for that 3rd book one more time, Mr. Brown, the one from Willie Jolly. What is that one called, please?
Called A Setback as a Setup for a Comeback.
A setback is a setup for a comeback.
Yes.
Hey, who's that just now repeated what I said? Whoever you are, you're on the wrong line. If you just repeated the name of the title, then you're the one that is interrupted. It's you, man. You're the one, like Mr. Brown says. Okay, so please mute yourself out. Okay, so all of that noise in the background is still you. Whoever that is that's on the line, please mute yourself. That's all. I think they did it. Okay, good stuff. Thank you. I was starting to wonder if we had an agent in the house, Mr. Brown. Okay, hold on.
I know last night he hit a rock shot.
Okay, good stuff. All right. So next up, we wanted to get out of Kentucky, Mr. Terrell Simmons. Mr. Terrell Simmons, star 6 will unmute your line. Mr. Terrell Simmons, I love this question because it spoke to me about the ability to foresee your destiny and how clearly you can see your purpose on the planet. Are you here, TJ?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Hey, Mr. Les Brown, how you doing, my brother?
I'm blessed to hear your voice, TJ.
Likewise. I'm excited. So I'm actually driving at the same time. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Very well.
Okay, good. So I'm driving at the same time as well, but trying to stay focused so I can stay alive here. So my question to you is, did you ever imagine that you would have such a grand presence in this world like you do now before it came to fruition? And when did you realize how impactful and influential you really was, and how did that change or affect you when you realized that?
The
I know
answer
it's a jam-packed
is no,
question.
I did not. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your question. I did not envision that I would have the kind of global impact that I now have, because when I envisioned doing what I do, technology did not exist that will allow you to have a global reach. And so I knew that I would reach a lot of people, but I did not know how many and how big it would be. But because it was my passion, I believe that a calling is something that you love so much that you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. And so my goal is to change as many lives as possible so that I can reach as many people as possible and to be able to earn a living in the process. The other thing is that when I discovered how far-reaching my voice has become and my story, I remember changing my shirt in the parking lot, running to an engagement in Mumbai, India. And I was laughing, and all of a sudden, a lady cried out and said, "Poppy, it's him. And this couple ran across the street to meet me in Mumbai, India, and they'd driven 8 hours from their village to come hear me. And the place is standing remotely, and I was just humbled by the response. I've spoken over 51 countries, and whenever I come in, my affirmation to myself is more of thee, less of me. More of thee, less of me. And I'm humbled by the number of people that I've been able to reach. And I just say, to God be the glory. Thank you, Lord, for using me as a vessel of hope for these that are listening and that can hear my voice. And thank you so much for your question. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that was a good one. And the follow-up to that, how did it change you? Did it change anything about your mindset or the sense of duty or responsibility? How did it affect you when you realized all of a sudden that the whole world was being impacted by your personal destiny?
it's a deeper sense of humility, but also a higher sense of responsibility to be very guarded by what I listen to, what I expose my mind to my words, to think them through, and the standard that I hold myself to as a person, so that I'm not just a messenger, but I am the message as well in how I live my life.
Wow. I really appreciate that.
I thank you as well. I just want to say thank you for taking your time out. I know it's like a $300 question, so maybe I'll get you some lunch if I ever meet you in real life. Y'all be blessed.
Oh, we're gonna make it happen, brother. I look to be in a training room with all of you that's online. We're gonna set it up.
Absolutely. Okay, Joseph from out of Atlanta, are you there? Star 6 will unmute your line.
Yes, I'm here.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We're ready for you, man.
Okay, great. Yes, Mr. Brown, what motivates you besides your children and leaving an inheritance for them? What motivates you?
To make my life count, Joseph, I remember a friend of mine, and one of the things that I thought about when I was at his funeral, that they didn't just bury his body, but they buried him with his dreams and potential and his talents and his gifts and his skills, because he used to say, one day I'm gonna.
Wow.
And that day never came. And so the things that he talked about that he was going to do, that he never did, those things went with him to his grave. And I believe that we were created on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose. And we're given a certain amount of time, and we don't know how much that is, to do our work before our expiration date. And he had an opportunity to do it, but he procrastinated. He came up with various excuses, and for a long period of time, like himself, Hello?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, Joseph?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Joseph? Yeah, so
yes,
did
sir,
that
I'm
answer
here.
your question?
It did. It did. Thank you. I actually have another one if it's okay to ask another one.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. How do you keep your spouse engaged in your vision when she knows you so well and may have seen you, stumbled and may have missed the mark a few times? How do you keep your spouse engaged in maybe a long-term vision that you may have?
Well, not only your spouse, but if you have children, how do you keep them engaged as well and allow them to believe and become a part of your fan club as opposed to the distractors? What's most important is that you take the time to find out, baby, I wanted to ask you something. Tell me if you had a choice of something that you would like to have that's very dear to you, what would that be? And find out what that is. And then, let's say, for instance, hypothetically, she would say a brand new car and the make and model of the car, or she might say a mink coat, or whatever she says. Get a picture of that and put it on your vision board and say, baby, I want you to know every day when I leave here working on my dream, that it brings me a step closer to getting that brand new Tesla for you, because you are so good to me and such a great mother to my children. I don't want you riding around with anything less, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm hungry to be the husband of So when you reach your
Albuquerque.
coach and she knows when you tell her that and you reach for your coach, she's going to put it on you. Say, go ahead, baby, get that Tesla for me. Get it, baby. Get it. She's going to spank you in the butt as you leave the house. All right.
Good stuff. Beautiful. That is amazing.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you so much.
We look forward to hearing that testimony, Brother Joseph. That's going to be good. Okay, Val Coakley from out of Arkansas. Val Coakley. Star 6 to unmute your line.
I am
really
here.
Powerful question as well. Good. How you doing this evening?
I am blessed and highly favored. I am so happy to be on the line with you guys. I am writing so fast. I have a cramp in my hand trying to keep up with all the notes. My God. Mr. Les Brown, thank you so much for taking this Q&A with us. My question real quick, I try not to be long-winded. My question would be, can you tell me about a time in your life where you had a problem with staying motivated, which is a question he just kind of asked, but mine is procrastination, staying motivated and procrastinating. That's a big issue for me. Can you tell me about a time and how you dealt with that?
Yes. All of us have those moments when we allow ourselves to be distracted. We put things off. We get caught up in the distractions of life. And it's very important, one, that you write your goals down, and two, to have action steps that you're going to take toward the goal, and three, the timeline, the things that you're going to do, how soon you're going to do those things, the short term, the 7-day goals, the 30-month, the 30-week, the month goals, the 3-month goals. You want to write those things down, certain things that you want to get accomplished. You want to break it down into manageable chunks. And so when I go to sleep tonight, before I lay my head on the pillow, I think about what I want out of tomorrow that will get me closer to my goals. So I write down 7 things that I'm supposed to do. And then when I get up tomorrow morning, after I write my 7 things that I'm grateful for, I start working on those action steps. And if I don't complete them, then they carry over to the next day. And I don't want them to accumulate, so I want to get those out of the way as soon as possible so that I can put some new things on the list. But sometimes you miss out because of the interruptions. But you want to be serious about life. And nobody can stop time. There goes a second. There goes another second. There goes another second. A friend of mine told me, named Dr. Marcia Harris, she said, if you want to lose something, lose money. Don't lose time procrastinating, because you can never make that time up. You're on this call because there's a higher calling in your life. You're on this call because God is going to do a greater work through you. You want to be a good servant and honor the calling on your life by maximizing the time and giving your best at all times under all circumstances. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Please, everybody, take off your speakerphone. I know that you're probably riding in the car or you're sitting there in the living room and you probably have people gathered around the phones, but what happened? Thank you so much. I heard somebody just mute themselves. That was great because it causes an echo, just a little bit of an echo. So next up we have Miss Shanamika Kalan. Miss Kalan, are you there on the line? Mr. Brown, this is a good one. She has a question about her child. I know how strongly you feel that the children are our future. I think this question is really going to be a blessing for her. I'm so glad she was able to ask this. Are you there, Ms. Kalan? Okay.
Mr. Hyde,
okay,
are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, my gosh. Good evening. How are you doing, Mr. Hyde and Mr. Brown?
Good evening. We're great, and so are you.
Wonderful. Amen. I have a question. Now, this is more on a personal level. Okay, my son, well, and I'm saying this personal level because two of my daughters, they're already in the accelerated program. Now, my son, by the name of Isaiah, now he's very intelligent and articulate, but when he's in school, he will not do his work and apply himself. But when he comes home and it's time to do homework, we will read, he will sound out the big words, the syllables, and when I ask him questions, he will answer from the beginning, the middle, the end, as well as the cause and effect. But it hurts me spiritually and heavenly because I know he can do it, but he's just not applying himself. And only because I have given up on him, and he's taken second grade again the following year. But my question to you is, how can I better myself so that I cannot fail him? I feel like I have failed him tremendously because I have pushed both of my daughters to the max, but I haven't pushed him to the max. So in other words, what do I need to do?
I got you, and I'm glad you asked that question. They say that we raise our daughters, but love our sons. And so it's very important that you don't beat yourself up. You know, Jesus said, "Whosoever will, let him hear." Some of your children will hear what you say, but there are others that won't. And so in the case of your son, there's two strategies that I think are supposed to involve. I have a granddaughter who my son couldn't reach her, and I was talking to her about applying herself in school, and she did not respond. But finally, she started doing very well, and I asked her what happened, and I knew what happened. She said, "My best friend told me, you're already here. You might as well make the best of it." And what I did was I found out who her best friend was, and I developed a relationship with her, and I said, "I need your help with Cleopatra to do her work and to be focused and disciplined and finish her homework so that she doesn't fail. Will you help me?" And she said yes. And her best friend, who was, fortunately, a good student, she started working with her. And that peer pressure of that good friend, she was able to hear her voice better than her father's or her grandfather. So you want to, in spite of the fact that your son has been held back, you want to say to him, you have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than what you're now showing. And I love you in spite of that. God is going to do a special work through you. I am proud of you because I know these grades don't represent who you are. I know and I see the truth of who you are. And we're going to work together to make this happen. So it might be a counselor, it might be a teacher, it might be a coach, it might be a relative that you will have to couple up with to reach him, because all young people are reachable, teachable, and redeemable. And so don't give up. No. He came through you for a purpose. He's your assignment. Giving up is not an option. Continue to do everything that you possibly can. Where do you live?
Here in Phoenix City, outside skirt of Columbus, Georgia.
Yes, at some point in time, we're going to do a youth program, and I'd like for you to. How old is he?
He's 7. He will be 8 in July.
Yes. Okay. So yes, he's reachable and teachable. Don't give up. He's too young to give it up. I mean, when he becomes a knucklehead like Hazik, then you might back away. All right. But don't give up, all right? And we don't give up on these old fuddy-duddy knuckleheads. Please don't give up on it. What's his name?
His name is Isaiah.
Isaiah, that's a powerful name. Come on, baby.
He's my prophet.
He's got spiritual strength and power. Oh, you named him right. Let the record show. And so you've got to call forth that greatness in him. He's your assignment And I know how kids, they have you singing a song, you about to make me lose my mind up in here. Up in here. You about to make me act a fool up in here. Up in here. But I want you to stay the course, baby. This is your assignment. It's a character-building experience. But he's going to become great, and he's going to make you proud. The most troubling children I have found are the ones that will make their parents proud. I was a problem child. My brothers and sisters never got in trouble. Mama never had to go to school for any of my brothers and sisters. Mama not only had to come to school for me, but she beat me one time in front of the class.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yes, but I'm the one that brought her home. I'm the one that took care of her. I'm the one that became more successful than all 6 of them combined. So don't underestimate Isaiah. That's God's chosen one. He's going to make you proud. You just stay the course, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having the courage to ask that. That was such a blessing to all of us, Ms. Kalan. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we're going to keep this show going. Make sure, everybody, that you mark your calendars for May 18th and 19th, right in Atlanta, Georgia, May 18th and 19th. That's when yours truly will be hosting Advanced Sales Mastery right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I get to be with you the whole weekend. We're going to have a ball with that. And you never know. I might be able to lean on somebody to show up. We don't know what his schedule looks like. But you never know. But make sure you mark your calendars now, May 18th and 19th. Okay, from out of Chicago, Illinois, Miss Alma Nantwi definitely needs no introduction. She introduced me earlier. Now I got to introduce her. She is one of the top CPAs in the whole country. It is such a blessing to have her here. Are you here, Miss Nantwi?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me, Miss Ali?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hi, Mr. Brown. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to hear that happy voice of yours.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Brown, my question is, what is the one major setback that you may have had that possibly made you want to quit or reconsider your path, and then how did you overcome it?
Well, one major setback I had, I was invited to speak at an event. I think at that time, I was in Dubai, and I fell flat on my face. It did not happen. I did not connect with the audience as I thought I would. And when I went back to my room, I questioned myself. But then I came out of it. I was listening to a motivational message that evening, and they said coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. And Ed Foreman, who I was listening to, a motivational speaker, he said, anything that is worth doing is worth doing badly. It's worth doing right if you know how to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, it's worth doing badly until you get it right. And I had never heard that before. I've always heard anything that's worth doing is worth doing right. But he said anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right, that we will fail our way to success. And that's how I got through it. I put that behind me, and I began to focus on just getting it right. What did I learn from my mistakes? When I was a state legislator, when I got legislation passed, I got it passed because of what I knew. But if I lost an argument on the floor of the Ohio legislature, I lost because of what I did not know. And so I went back to the drawing board and got some help from other legislators so that I can come back, introduce legislation again, and be a much better presenter in arguing my position than I was the other time. We learn from mistakes. You don't want to just go through them. You want to grow through them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for who you are in your service.
Mr. Brown, I cannot believe that there was a moment that even shook you up and made you wonder if you were supposed to be doing it. I just can't wrap my brain around that. That's amazing.
Oh, we all have those moments, my brother.
And then I hope everybody caught that even Mr. Brown, the world's greatest motivator, listens to motivational speakers. I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all caught that. He said that when he got off stage, he came back to the room and had a soul-searching moment, and during a motivational piece, he caught that quote about coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. What an amazing concept. And then I hope everybody wrote down anything worth doing. We've all heard anything worth doing is worth doing right. But have you ever heard that anything worth doing is worth doing wrong until you get it right? My God. I hope everybody's catching it. Okay, next up, knowledge. He just goes by knowledge. Mr. Anthony Davis, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, I'm on the line. How you doing, sir?
Oh, man. We're blessed to hear your voice, Brother Knowledge.
Man, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you. Yes, my question today for Mr. Les Brown is, sir, what is your greatest challenge, what you can say to people when they're starting their career as a mentor, a motivational speaker? What is just a great challenge that we might face on that career path, sir? Thank you.
The greatest challenge, Knowledge, is to continue while you're helping others to take care of yourself and to raise the bar on yourself so that you are living an achievement-driven life, that you're not just an advocate telling people that they can live their dreams and they can do incredible things with their lives, but you are not just a messenger, but you are an example of what you talk about. You know, a lot of people say practice what you preach, and I say preach what you practice. And so when the people that you're mentoring see you raising the bar on yourself, see you studying, see you dying to who you've been to give birth to knowledge, who knowledge is supposed to come, living out of your imagination rather than your history, that example will inspire them to step up to the plate because they know that you're operating from a place of integrity. They know that you're not just a messenger, but you're also the message that you are advocating for them.
Thank you, sir. Give thanks.
I appreciate you. We give thanks for who you are. Thank you.
So be
Absolutely. I really am appreciative of the high level of – are these some good questions, Mr. Brown?
Yeah, very good questions. The best I've ever gotten back to back. Yeah. You got a powerful group up in here.
I love it. So, okay, next up we have Miss Emily Shaw out of Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Emily Shaw, this is one of my favorite people on the planet, Mr. Brown, and she has made me promise that I'm going to introduce you guys, and I told her that we will make that happen. You know, she is just an amazing spirit, such a good person and a caretaker of her whole family, and just when you meet her, I mean, you meet certain people and they just, I don't know, certain people are sort of vanilla and it doesn't. This lady, her aura instantly hits you. She has such an energy of love that just circulates her. Are you there, Miss Shaw?
I am there, and who are you talking about? You're talking about me.
You're so funny. I cannot wait until you meet Mr. Brown. But Miss Shaw, what was your question? It's like my big sis, Mr. Brown. What was your question?
I cannot wait till I meet Mr. Brown either. I have been in awe of you for so many years because I'm just that old. But it is such a pleasure to be on the line with you. I never imagined that this would happen. I'm so elated. My question
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. My question is, most people just do a job. They bump through life and they just work a job. And that's what I've been doing all my life. So what are the things that you said that everybody has a purpose and God put us here for a reason. I am 63 years old and still searching for my purpose. What are the things that you I should contemplate or consider when I'm trying to find out what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And two, is the vocation or your career intertwined? Is it the same as your love and your purpose?
May I ask you a question, Emily?
Yes.
If you had a choice of doing something 40 hours a week, Emily, something that resonates with your heart and spirit, something that when you're doing it, it would not be considered work because it's your passion, that you enjoy it. What would that look like? What would that be, Emily?
Mr. Brown, I honestly don't know other than
Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute, Emily.
Okay.
I know you don't know, but going into your imagination, what would that look like? Something that you love to do. You know what you love to do. Something that makes you feel good and gives your life a sense of purpose and meaning and significance. You know who that is. We can't go to your neighbors or your relatives. You know what's in your heart. What's in your heart? What is that?
I love talking to people, connecting with people, and
okay, hold the line just a minute. That's all that
okay.
that's all that you need now. So that's why you're attracted to the organization, and that's why you got on this call. And so now all you have to do is find a way to earn a living doing what it is you love to do. See, I love talking to people. Success to me is doing what you love to do and find somebody to pay you to do it.
I've heard that.
I talk in my sleep. So I'm going to Dubai. And when I get on that plane, the check they have sent me, the certified check of $225,000 will have already cleared the bank, and the 4 first-class round-trip tickets that I received to go there and speak. I love to speak. I will speak for free in jails and prisons and juvenile detention centers, but I wanted to build a life around what I love to do that allows me to make a difference and to create wealth in the process. And the combination doesn't get any better than that. And the reason that you love to speak, you do it very well. You miss personality. You have charisma and presence. And presence is something that you cannot acquire. Either you have it or you don't have it. And Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see your presence through the telephone. And so I'm saying to you, my sister, we can hook a sister up. You right here in Atlanta?
Yes, I'm in Atlanta.
Good. Well,
yeah.
When I have my training, Speak and Grow Rich, you want to be there on the front row because I can show you how to leverage your hobby, your passion, how you can speak free and earn $100,000 to $200,000 extra a year without interfering with what you're now doing. This is your time.
Woo-hoo.
This is your season.
Okay. Love it. Love you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that insight.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now, we're going to start winding this thing down. We don't want to keep Mr. Brown too long because he might not ever come back. You know? We got to make sure we keep this thing light, man. Now, we're going to take we'll take 3 more. Mr. Brown's favorite number is 7. but we're going to take 3 more because that's his second favorite. Oh, man. So we're going to take 3 more. So I'm going to try my best to pick from all of these amazing questions the top 3 I think will have the most impact. Miss Felton, are you there? From out of Mr. Brown's old stomping grounds again, this time Columbus, Ohio. Miss Yvette Felton, are you there?
I am, Mr. Ali. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What is your question for the legend?
Awesome, awesome. Mr. Brown, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being an awesome example of what's possible. My question is, sir, what advice would you give us on growing and sustaining a mindset of success that you wish somebody would have given you early in your journey to being the great Mr. Les Brown?
Well, Yvette, thank you very much for your question. You're in Columbus, Ohio, where I was Les Brown, the man about town, LB Triple T. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Well, I was the state legislator from the 29th district in Columbus, Ohio. And I wish someone had told me that in order to accelerate your success in life, you just can't do it by yourself. You want to be on a talent hunt. You want to find people who have skills, who have talents that you don't have, and surround yourself with those people. Develop strategic relationships with what I call collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, people who bring value to you and you will bring value to them. And as a result, you could go faster. As a result of my finding that out, it took my income far beyond I could ever begin to imagine. I remember before that happened, the most money I'd ever earned at one time was $123,000 in an hour and a half when I gave the speech in the Georgia Dome. But after I organized some people who had talents in areas that I did not have, my income in Salt Lake City, Utah, went to another level. I earned $280,000. Wow. Gave the same speech, but because of the relationships that I did not have when I spoke in the Georgia Dome, those people helped me to learn how to leverage my speaking ability, how to enhance my selling ability, and expand the kinds of quality training that I provided, the follow-up that I provided, and it made all the difference in the world. If you're the smartest one in your group, as Dr. Dennis Kimbrough would say out of Atlanta, then you need to get a new group. Well, I didn't have a group, so I had to get a group, and I got that group, and my income reflected that teamwork makes the dream work.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Mr. Brown.
I appreciate you. God bless you.
Okay, we're going to take 2 more. I hope you guys are writing notes. I hope you guys are writing notes in your power book, something that you are going to refer to and review and get into your subconscious. I hope this is touching your life. Next, we have Miss Petra Williams. Are you there, Miss Williams? And I'm not sure if I pronounce your name Petra or Petra, so please forgive.
It's Petra.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
From Petersburg, Virginia. I am just so excited to be on the phone and honored to be on the phone today. I just knew my question was going to get picked. But, Mr. Brown, I just wanted to thank you for being on the call today. I don't even need the answer to this question anymore. Hold on 1 second. Get it? Okay.
You there, Petra?
Yes. It says, what is one of the best things you can do to stop self-sabotaging your biggest financial opportunities and desires, even if the sabotage may be stemming from depression. And then I put, or is the depression stemming from the self-sabotage?
Well, here's how you judge it. The Book of Life says, judge a tree by the fruit it bears. And so if you are short-circuiting and sabotaging yourself from producing the kind of results that you want in your life, you've got to take the time to reflect. God asked Adam, where are you? Not because he didn't know, because God is omniscient, all-knowing, and all-knowledge. But he wanted Adam to think. So I want to ask you, what is it about you? You obviously, you're aware of the choices that you're making and that you're sabotaging yourself, the consequences of those choices. Now I want you to go to a place within yourself, and you brought it up. I want you now to have a moment of transparency. Why are you sabotaging yourself?
You're asking me?
Yes, that's what I'm asking you. Why are you sabotaging yourself?
I think it has something to do with how since I was in kindergarten, every person, every teacher I've ever known, and like people, you always talk about potential, just how much potential I had. And I started to hate potential, like, by the time I was in the 12th grade, because that meant you really still weren't working up to your to that. And in culmination with, you know how they say, okay, the Bible says a prophet is never seen in their own
with honor in his homeland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my family structure is not the most supportive, even though my play uncle, he said, you know, he's told me, oh, you sound just like Les Brown's little sister. And I've gone through some things where I've had brain surgery, and it's been very difficult for me to get back up. I keep telling myself what I hear Hazik always saying is that environment is better than will. It's stronger than will. But I don't want to leave my hometown, and I think that might be what self-sabotaging, or maybe something my father says or something.
No, it's not what they say. It's about what you say to yourself. What they say, what they think, is none of your spiritual business. How old are you now?
45.
Okay, yeah, so it's not about them. You've been on the planet almost a half a century. So it's about you maturing enough to believe in your own self-explanatory style, your own conversation with yourself. So I'll give you something to do. Not only do I want you to listen to the motivational messages that we're going to send you, but I want you to stand in the mirror and look at yourself and say to yourself 21 times straight for 21 days. What is your first name again, please?
Petra.
Petra?
Yes, sir.
I love myself unconditionally. Petra, I love myself unconditionally. Petra, I love myself unconditionally. Petra, I love myself unconditionally. Say it with feeling, power, and conviction. Petra, I love myself unconditionally. And those words spoken Death and life is in the tongue, and most of us speak more death than we do life to ourselves. As you speak those words will go from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, and it will change how you feel inside, and it will begin to take away the propensity of trying to destroy yourself and prevent yourself from doing the things that God has chosen you to do. And this place where you are now is not unusual. Paul said, the things I should do, I don't do. And the things I shouldn't do, I do. So all of us have moments, Petra, in life, including me, when I've done things that did not represent the best in me, when I've done things that was self-sabotaging, and I had to ask myself, what am I doing? Why did I do that? We've all had moments of what I call moments of insanity. Where you say, whoa, if I had that to do over again, I wouldn't do it.
My
So
God.
love yourself unconditionally, because you're a masterpiece, Petra, because you're a piece of the master. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Damian Young out of Atlanta. You're going to take us on out of here, man. Damian Young out of Atlanta. Thank you to everybody who submitted their questions on time. You responded to the email last night. You responded to the text message system. I really treasure and honor you and your ability to stick to the details. It's really good, and it's going to serve you the rest of your life. Okay, Damian Young. Good evening, millionaire. Star 6 will unmute your line. Damian Young is also out of Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. We might have lost him. Is Sean Shields on the line? Sean Shields. Star 6 will unmute your line. Sean Shields.
Hello. Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is Damien. Yeah, I had started.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Azik, for everything that you are, for everything that you've been. I want to thank you first off. Thank you for this platform.
No problem.
Les
You're
Brown,
welcome, my brother.
Sir, I want to say thank you. I love you guys both. You have both been an inspiration to not just me, but to this world. Last but not least, I thank you also for giving me this last question. My question to you, sir, is: Are we born leaders, or do you think that's a muscle that has to be worked on? I guess, as you could say. I struggle. I've heard a lot of the questions, and I think all these questions. These are great questions because I feel a lot of these questions. I wanted to ask a lot of them, but that's my question.
Sean, all of us are born the same way: dumb, naked, and speechless. No one comes here dressed. No one comes here talking. No one comes here knowing anything. Everything else we acquire, we learn through our desires, through our goals, and through our observation. As I listen to your voice, you have a voice that's rich with the potential to impact and influence people and bring the best out of them. Your interest in this area is an interest that what you're seeking, Sean, is also seeking you. Listens to the still small voice within. And then from the bottom of your soul and spirit, say, here I am, Lord, send me. I'm ready to serve you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Ali.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to bother y'all. This is Sean Shields from New York City. My phone cut out. I'm on a train. I've been waiting and praying. I heard my name was called, and I do apologize for missing my moment. Can I just ask a question?
You did not miss your moment. You're on, sir.
Mr. Brown, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Ali, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm sorry for my tardiness right now.
It's okay.
Terrible.
As you're on the train moving, what is your question?
My question is, I live in New York City, and in New York City, making money is really not a major issue for many of you New Yorkers. So I would like to know, how can I get the attention of these New Yorkers and explain to them and show them that what we offer in my business of No Way, that they not only need, but it could change their life and community. Like, how do I get the message through to them?
Well, it's according to what platform you'd like to use. It's easier now to do that than ever before because we have the internet. You have Facebook, which has a profile. What borough do you live in?
I live in Brooklyn.
You live in Brooklyn. Very good. So Facebook, they have the email addresses of all the people who've ever gone online and looking for information on how to create more income and their analytics. And so you can do what is called behavior marketing, that anybody that has gone online trying to find out how they can make some extra money to take care of themselves and their family, you can aggregate, get those organized through Facebook and market specifically to those people, because now you're giving the customer what the customer has already indicated that they're looking for. And as a result of that strategy, that behavior marketing strategy, you'll be able to tap into the people in Brooklyn that have a mindset to purchase what it is that you provide, and that is the skill set on how they can begin to create more income for themselves. Does that make sense, sir?
That makes perfect sense. Brown, thank you so very much for taking time to pour into me and give me not only an adequate answer, but something that I can actually apply and implement immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. You're quite welcome, sir.
Can I sneak in there? This is Miss Moon.
I want to make sure everybody's on time, et cetera, and so forth from now on. The last question, Mr. Brown, came from somebody whose phone actually got crushed, and I know that they were trying to unmute themselves earlier. But what advice would you have, Mr. Brown, for a 21-year-old who's surrounded by, older people who don't take her serious, et cetera, and so forth, but she's trying to grow as an entrepreneur? What kind of advice would you give somebody like that who's battling ageism?
First of all, I'm glad this person answered the question, because at 21 and 3 times 7 is 21. 7 is my lucky number.
That's right. That's right.
I'm one of 7 children. I was born February the 17th. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times.
7 times.
Yes. So here's my response to you. Number 1, a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. What I encourage you to do, something I learned a long time ago, don't speak where you don't have a voice. They may or may not be your tribe, because they have judged you not based upon your knowledge, but because of your age. And they don't know you. So I believe that you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach. And so don't beat your head up against the wall trying to convince them. Speak where you have credibility. Speak to those who will listen. That's why Jesus said, he who has ear, let him hear. There's some people that are willing to listen to you. Speak until they find your voice, and then serve them. The greatest among you will be your servant. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I really, and I pray that you know this and that you can feel it in your heart, Mr. Brown, but I really, really appreciate this. You always act as though it's no big deal and it's no problem. It's a big deal to us, and it is such a moment for us. Like, I know I'm speaking for the rest of the tribe that can hear my voice when I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Mr. Brown. And we're going to do you the service of using this knowledge that you passed on to us. We are going to help your legacy continue by actually using the wisdom that you have imparted. We're going to apply it to our lives, and our lives are different starting now. Our lives are just a little bit better as we begin to review these notes and imbibe the material that you've given us. As we go through not only the questions that we had that maybe we didn't even get to pose, but you answered through answering someone else's question, but then we're also going to contemplate the questions that other people asked and ask ourselves, why didn't we have that question? Or where are we in our lives that didn't apply to us? And what is it about that we can still pull from it? I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Mr. Brown, for taking out this time and this energy that you can never get back. We can never get back these moments that you spent with us, and we love you, Mr. Brown. And whatever you can do whatever we can do to serve you, please let us know. And I know I speak for everybody when I say, again, just sincere gratitude and thank you for this moment. We'll never forget it.
Hazik Ali, I thank you as my spiritual son. I thank you for the time we spend together, how you keep me on the path of making choices that will strengthen my health, that will allow me to be here longer and to serve God. I thank you for being an advocate and a messenger and a supporter of me and helping me become more disciplined. I treasure the time that we spend together. I knew your father. He was a great man. But I feel blessed that I have this time to spend with you, and I will always be available to you to serve you and the people on this call, because I believe in my heart of hearts, God did not spare me from death, from cancer, just to help those who have get more. I believe that I'm still here to serve the people that's on this call, because what's in me is in them, and we're branches of the same tree. We're cut from the same cloth, and that God has a greater work for all of us. So thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm always here for you.
Thank you. And
God bless you for listening.
Well, but before you go, Mr. Brown, we got to let everybody hear you.
Yeah, but you always mess me up, man.
Man, you about to get me emotional, man. No, not in front of them. I can't be crying in front of them. Well, hold on. Everybody show some love to Mr. Brown. And they'll keep going till 8 p.m., Mr. Brown.
Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. Take care, my brother. I appreciate you.
Love you, Mr. Brown. Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow.